My name is Lauren Mitchell, and for 7 straight years, I was the employee every manager dreams of. I worked at a mid-sized tech solutions company in Austin, Texas, the kind of place that bragged about being a family while quietly exploiting loyalty. I was hired as a junior operations analyst, fresh out of college, hungry, driven, and proud to have landed a job in the American tech industry. I stayed late. I fixed problems no one else wanted. I trained new hires, even ones who later became my supervisors. And every year, without fail, I was told the same thing by my manager, Brian Caldwell. Lauren, you're invaluable right where you are. Promotion just isn't in the budget yet. Yet somehow, the budget always existed for everyone else. I watched people I personally trained get promoted ahead of me. Men with half my experience. New hires who asked me how things worked. Even Brian's golf buddies, friends he brought in and fast-tracked. Every annual review, Brian praised my performance. You're exceptional, Lauren. You're the backbone of this department. But when I asked about advancement? Next year. I promise. That next year came and went, 4 times. I started noticing something else too. My ideas were being presented in meetings, by Brian. My strategies were being applauded, under his name. I was no longer an employee. I was invisible labor. The breaking point came during my 7th year. A senior operations manager position opened, my dream role. I met every qualification. I had practically been doing the job already. I walked into Brian's office with confidence. He didn't even let me finish speaking. Honestly, Lauren, I don't see you as leadership material. Leadership material. The woman who ran the department when he was on vacation. The one clients specifically requested. The one who fixed his mistakes quietly to protect his reputation. 2 weeks later, he announced the promotion. Not me. It went to Kevin, a man I had trained for 3 months. That night, I went home, sat in my car, and cried, not from weakness, but from clarity. They were never going to promote me. Because promoting me meant losing control. I didn't argue. I didn't beg. I didn't complain to HR. Instead, I updated my resume. And something else happened during those years. Brian kept me stuck. I had built relationships. I understood the market. I knew every client pain point. So when I gave my 2-week notice, Brian laughed. Good luck out there, Lauren. You'll be back. I smiled and said nothing. What he didn't know was that 3 of our biggest clients had already asked me the same question. If you ever start your own firm, would you call us? I used my savings, rented a tiny office, and started Mitchell Operations Consulting. No fancy launch. No investors. Just skill, reputation, and relentless work ethic. I worked nights. I worked weekends. I did everything Brian claimed I wasn't leadership material for. Within 6 months, I signed my first major contract. Within a year, I had hired 2 former coworkers, people Brian had also overlooked. Word spread fast. Clients didn't want middle managers taking credit. They wanted results. 2 years later, my company was thriving. And then the email arrived. Brian's company, my old company, was requesting a consultation. They had lost multiple clients. Revenue was declining. And my firm had become their biggest regional competitor. The meeting invitation listed me as the lead consultant. I walked into that conference room in a tailored suit, confident, calm, and successful. Brian froze when he saw me. Lauren. I didn't know this was your company. I smiled. You never asked. For the first time, he had to pitch to me. They wanted advice on how to stop losing clients to my firm. I gave them a detailed proposal. Fair. Professional. Expensive. Brian read the numbers and swallowed hard. This is higher than we expected. I met his eyes. That's the cost of expertise. They couldn't afford me. Within 6 months, his company lost another major contract, to mine. Brian was quietly restructured out. Today, I run a company with over 40 employees across the United States. I promote talent. I credit ideas properly. I lead the way I once begged to be allowed to. I didn't destroy Brian's career. He did that himself, by underestimating the woman who built his success. The promotion he denied me? I gave it to myself. And I made sure it came with freedom,